Hi there everyone, very good evening to you. Charles here, FRGNT Daily Chart Analysis, Monday 17th of November 2025, just passing 10 past 6 in Milano, 10 past 5 in the UK. And we are just going to run through very quickly over our long position taken on Euro US dollar this afternoon. Just before doing so, I shall take your attention to my daily chart analysis, which was a couple of 10 hours ago to be precise. So 5 o'clock in the morning UK, we forecasted the price would indeed come down towards that 4-hour 50 EMA previous daily lows, fill Asia's to the left before then giving us some breaks of structure. Before then we are to look to go long. Now, to take you into the here and now, that is exactly what we were waiting for, and that's what occurred. So price, if I can delete that for a moment, and I'll bring you to that daily chart initially in the center. So as I mentioned, previous daily low, not so much the previous daily low, but a wick imbalance from the daily candle that was left behind. So we wanted price to sort of find some liquidity in and around that area. If we then go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see very beautifully how price was respecting that 4-hour 50 EMA. And in particular, if you have a look here, higher high, higher low, rejection, higher high, higher low, rejection, higher high, higher low, expecting, you've guessed it, rejection for potentially continued higher high. So that was what we forecasted, that's what we traded, and essentially that's what happened. We're looking to take that up in towards the previous daily low, and just to double check myself in regards to where we are with the daily candle. So in fact, yes, we have got in the absolute lows, and with the remaining 4 hours and 51 minutes, I expect this daily candle to close bullish above this daily 50 EMA, leaving a beautiful wick behind like so. So with that said, we're in the position now, and let's run through the series of events. So that's the 4-hour time frame. It's a nice place to start, to be quite honest, because that's what builds up the majority of the confluence. As I said, we've got that daily, 4-hour 50 EMA that price is respecting beautifully. Price made the higher high, pull back into an area of imbalance that was left behind on the 4-hour time frame. Just to add some confluence to that area, I can see in white also we pull back into an imbalanced area on that daily time frame as well. So the daily order block was created as a result of this engulfing candle, leaving that void and order block behind, which we've highlighted and refined across the time frames. Now we'll skip the 4-hour time frame, we'll just jump down to the 1 hour to see if there's any confluence there as well that helped us to gain an edge in taking that position. Here you can see just to the left hand side is the key, just to gain your reference in terms of order block color selection, for no relevance whatsoever in terms of color. With that said, within that 4-hour order block, we have refined it again down to a 1-hour order block. Again, that is not enough for me to take a position from a tap from, since it's more than likely that to enter above the 1-hour order block and cover sufficiently. I mean, to be quite honest, it doesn't look tremendously bad, but we know we can do better in terms of refinement, and that's what we did. So in terms of immediate targets for me at this moment, as you can see, the 1-hour 50 EMA, it's not something that scares me out of a position, but most certainly I can expect a reaction from that. As we take the facts on board, price was previously respecting this 50 EMA in terms of the 1 hour, coming down, respecting it, bouncing off. We then had the breakthrough, so now expecting the reverse rejection from it, push away back into that 1 hour 50 EMA, and made the lower low there, which has then given us our higher low on the 4-hour time frame. So we're expecting a rejection up back in towards that 1 hour 50 EMA before potential rejection, but the overall bias for me is that we will continue higher up in towards these previous daily highs, where again I'll be looking to take an immediate short position. So nevertheless, from that 1 hour time frame now into the 15-minute time frame, where you can see my second position actually. So as price then came into the previous daily lows, literally with this wick on a 1 minute candle, price then gave us a bullish engulfing fit on the 15-minute time frame. As a result of that, engulfed the previous 1, 2 15-minute candles. I quite honestly had my position, if I delete this so you can see it clearer, this imbalance that was created, highlighted within that circle area, that imbalance was simply taken as a result of being from a high confidence point of interest. Entry was there in terms of the stop loss, stop loss was just below 8 pips, and as I say, we're going initially for that 1 hour 50 EMA before looking to secure some profits. But at the moment we have locked this off at break even, and we're seeing what goes on in terms of that. So that is position number 2. In terms of position number 1, we scaled right the way down to the 1 minute time frame, and as I said, since we were in a high confidence point of interest, I'm looking for some small intricacies in terms of price action. So what do we have? Initially, this could have been an aggressive break of structure, but it wasn't taken because, as I said, it could have been, but it was not. Price then came back down, so after this potential lower low, lower high, a lower low was created, and then a lower high, lower low. However, the importance of this lower low is that this lower low pulled into where it was, that wick imbalance, which has somehow disappeared. Once price is then pushed into that area, straight away I'm looking for much of the same in terms of candlesticks formation. We have this bullish engulfing, which engulfs 1, 2, 3 minutes worth of price action. Again, that left behind an area of imbalance, which then, again, just as I took on that 15-minute, buy limit was set in that area, and I gave myself some room to the downside for the trade to breathe. Roughly 6.5 pips if I remember correctly. And then that was position number 1, to be quite honest. So that's position number 2, taken from the top of that imbalance area, and then 1 minute imbalance area position trade. So that did tap into 3%, however only some partial profits have been secured at this point, and I'm going to wait to see what price does as it attacks that 1 hour 50 EMA for that. So thank you very much for listening. While we are there, let's see what else we have in terms of myself posting today. I hope you can still see the screen, but in regards to Euro US dollar, there I am. So my words were Euro US dollar, if price leaves from the current zone, that's absolutely fine. So we were in Asia, so if I go back to that 15-minute time frame, we were in and around here, and in my Telegram we were discussing soon. Thank you, Charles.